Have you ever found yourself watching a thriller and saying, "You're going the wrong way," or asking, "What if he had done something else?" Well, that's a good thought to keep in mind when jumping into Spike Chunsoft's newest visual novel adventure, 428 Shibuya Scramble. My name is Azara Lopez, and this is a Noisy Pixel review. Unlike any other visual novels I've played, 428 uses still images of real-life actors to tell an insane story of 5 characters whose lives will cross paths over the one eventful day in Tokyo's Shibuya district. However, I might be the wrong person to ask because I've never personally been to Shibuya, so this could just be like any other day. In 428, players will take control of one of 5 characters: Kano, the detective; Achi, the gangster; Asawa, the scientist; Tama, the mascot; or Miniorikawa, the reporter. None of these characters know about each other, but that all changes after a woman is kidnapped and a ransom is demanded. On the case is Detective Kano, who is a part of the sting operation which puts a girl's life in danger as she attempts to deliver the ransom to the kidnappers. Although this isn't the only storyline happening throughout the game, it's just one of the few plots that end up tying all the characters together in some way or another. In true visual novel fashion, you should expect to read a lot of text while playing 428. At certain points throughout the game, players will need to make choices for the characters. These choices weigh heavily on not only the character's story that's being played, but also the other characters around them. The best way to describe this would be, say I woke up late for a job interview, and along the way a person bumps into me and causes me to miss out on the meeting. Similarly, the person that bumped into me was running from someone, and this interaction caused them to be caught. However, what if I made the decision to wake up early so that I and the person never met? Throughout 428, the player will be met with many of these branching paths that might have an effect on more than just 2 people. It's safe to say that while playing 428, the bad endings screen will be seen many times. However, some of these bad endings definitely caught me off guard and I found myself laughing hysterically at the results. With that said, there are also some really sad endings. I think half the fun of 428 comes from these bad endings, and I would actively try to trigger them while playing through the story. Thankfully, the game isn't over after a bad ending. Instead, you simply jump right back in to attempt a different choice. Most of the time, the ways to progress are found in different storylines, so jumping from character to character is a must. 428 makes accessing all of these options easier with a well-developed timeline system. Each character can be seen from the timeline, including branching path options, bad endings, or jump options. The jump options are found in-game, marked with red text, so when the text show up, clicking it will allow the player to jump to a different storyline, which is happening at the exact same moment to make a crucial decision. 428's story has an amazing flow to it, and just when a scene is carrying on too long, something happens that pulls you right back in. Even though the game all takes place over one day, 428 gives you a chance to care about each of these characters by focusing on their backstory and how they found themselves in the situation they're in. The game even highlights other side characters' backstories who you'll run into from time to time throughout the game. This natural flow that the game has is something that I find visual novels often struggle with, but if I'm going to be honest, the story of 428 is by far one of the best visual novels I've played to this day. I'd also like to highlight the music in the game, and just the sound effects in general, that bring the scenes to life. There are a few uncomfortable moments in the game, the music will just cut off entirely in replace of a haze or a total silence that makes you know you are dealing with some expert sound designers. Similarly, the more goofy scenes are also expressed through the music. Strangely, the game has a lot of Aya Kamiki references in it, who's a Japanese pop star. It feels out of place at first, but they tie her existence into the story over time, and you just accept it because it's good music. Where 428 falls short is found in a few systems. One of which is the autoplay, which 428 has, but there are moments when the speed will randomly increase after the text finishes. You can see what I mean here. The game also has a few options that are kind of chosen for you. These don't come up too often, but for example, early on I attempted to change the future of an event by going back and making a different choice. But the characters ended up talking it out and shot it down to put me right back in the same situation. However, my gripes with the game never actually took me away from just how great of an experience 428 offers. .428 Shibuya Scramble is a game that can easily be accessible by someone who has never played a visual novel before. It's almost the perfect introduction to the genre because it doesn't overwhelm you with the dialogue choices of stuff like who you want to romance or other moe situations. The story is one that is ahead of its time, and it's a shame that I had to wait 10 years in order to play it. Even though 428 has a conclusion, I felt that the journey getting there is what makes this game so memorable. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to go back and try and discover more bad endings that I missed out on. I'm giving 428 Shibuya Scramble a 9.3 out of 10.